Hello, and I'm with Paul Anderson, and we're here to talk about AAMP, Advanced Applications in Medical Practice, an organization, Dr. Anderson, that you set up 3 years ago now, and you're just moving into your seventh international conference. It's certainly making a name for itself. It's one of the fastest growing integrative conferences in the US. So you're obviously doing something right, Dr. A. What makes this conference different to other conferences?
Well, having spoken at conferences for a long, long time and looked around and really more than that, gotten feedback from people who go to conferences, I started to think that a good place to take a direction for CME would be next level education. And so what we attempt to do with advanced applications is just that, advanced applications. We, of course, there's always some introductory material, but mostly we get right to the point of what do you need to take your practice to the next level in whatever topic we are featuring at the time. And so our goal was really to bring together the best experts we can and have, as opposed to some conferences, which are great, but instead of having a large number of speakers on one topic, having a smaller group who really dig deep into the more advanced levels of that topic. So that was our goal, and that's what we've done.
And how much do you support the attendees? It's a 3-day conference, and I believe it's a full
Yes.
3 days
Yes.
of 18 hours. The follow-on to that afterwards,
Yes.
how do you handle questions that those attendees
So,
obviously have?
because we packed so much into the 3 days, and just by the way, we start at the beginning of Friday morning, so there's no
Right.
late starts, and we end Sunday usually between 4:30 and 5. So it's 3 full days. That gives you a lot of CME, but it also gives you a lot of content. And so what we do to help with the content and support you afterwards is everybody within the price of admission includes not just the slides, but also audio recordings of everything. So you can go back and listen to it over and over if you need to. The other thing, though, is there will be live questions that come up in your life after you leave, where you maybe try something new or you try and implement something we talked about. And it either goes great or you have questions, or maybe doesn't go great. We have 2 webinars that are done live with Q&A after the fact. So after each AAMP, we do 2 webinars. And if you can't make it on those, you can still send your questions in by email. We will answer them, and then they'll be recorded. So you have access, and that's only for attendees, but you'll have access to those whenever you need them. So the follow-on is really something we don't leave you at the end of Sunday and say, good luck. We try and catch up
Right.
with you afterwards.
With so many conferences out there, what makes AMP different? Is it the quality of the food? There must be so much more, but that plays a big part.
Yeah, so part of taking care of everyone in 3 fairly intense long days, part of it's the experience. So we try and do the very best we can with procuring the best hotels,
Right.
and also the catering. We have organic food. We also label everything so that if there's something you do or don't eat, you know whether it's in there or not. And we have a lot of options such as gluten-free things, etc. The other thing is the break food is excellent, but you also, as part of the price of your admission, your breakfasts and lunches through the entire conference are covered. We have some evening activities, and we have different types of food options in the evening if you're coming to the activities. So we do try and take care of you throughout. Also, the event management are very, very experienced, and they take care of needs as they come up. We don't just sort of let you free to have problems.
So these are 2 live conferences a year, I believe, spring in Scottsdale.
Yes.
And in the Northwest in the fall. So how are things going for Scottsdale? That's the one that's coming up.
Yes,
in
so
May.
Scottsdale's coming up. We do a Northwest in the fall, and as was mentioned, Scottsdale in the spring. And so Scottsdale in the spring is coming up with a chronic GI disease advanced update.
Okay.
And very, very quickly, we have 3 days, so we can have 3 portions that go together. And I would encourage you to look on AAMP Scottsdale for the agenda.
Right.
You can look more deeply there. But one of the things we try and do is not have random information under a large heading, but we actually have a beginning, middle, and end to each section. And that's coming up.
And news on Seattle in the fall, I believe that's
Yes.
just been announced.
Seattle, we are all ready to go. We have we have really an amazing faculty lined up, like we try to do for everything. But our topics are around the area of immunology, but not just immunology for the sake of immunology. It's what makes healing either go better or worse in your chronically ill patients. So, for example, we're going to take a very deep dive into mold, biotoxin, and mycotoxin illnesses, not just why they're not good for you, but we have some of the best experts in the country coming to put together how to treat them and what to do about them.
And where can information be found for both these conferences?
So AAMPconferences.com is the overall website. You also can go specifically to AAMP Scottsdale or AAMPSeattle.com, and both will work.
Well, thank you, Dr. Anderson, and we look forward to seeing you at many more AAMP conferences and sharing your wonderful knowledge and wisdom with our attendees. Thank you so much.
Thank you.